Okay, again, I think last class I talked briefly about using InDesign to make your design proposal. And again, one of the most reasons why InDesign is great is because the resolution is high quality. The artwork that you bring in can be the quality that you originally made it in. Plus, you can share vector files from like Illustrator and so on. Whereas if you use something like Microsoft Word or any of those kind of programs, the quality tends to be adjusted according to the application. And so, you know, if this is something I'm going to make a PDF out of and send to something, you know, I think it's really worthwhile to use a program that can make a good PDF and can keep track of your assets as well. Probably one of the easier ones is called InDesign. InDesign is basically a publishing program, and I think last class we went over a little bit the history of InDesign and so on. InDesign is not that hard. It's like one of the normal Adobe products. You have all the menu items at the top. They seem to be a lot, but you know, I only used a few items, mostly to make a document. I don't know what the difference between book and document. I guess book is more the multi-page, where document can be multi-page but shorter. I'm not really sure why they have so many, but I tend to just use document. And then once you choose document in there, what kind of document are you going to make? Mostly I'm going to do a print one, which would be for a PDF. But they do have web for making basic website kind of things, which I probably wouldn't use this to make a website. And then they do have mobile for doing that as well. And I think I talked last class about how you can make a digital EPUB with this. Mostly though I go with a print, and of course you have all your different sizes as you will. I know the pica system's a little bit confusing to you. You can't change it to inches if you want over there, but by default it uses this pica system. The pica system was a way that we used to measure documents in basic publishing. Even before we used desktop publishing, we used pica, and I forget. I used to know all the conversions of pica in my day. 6 picas per inch or something. I can't remember. Again, you can do and I showed a whole bunch of different proposals last class. Again, you can do a portrait or landscape, either one. I tend to use 8.5 by 11 in case I want to print it out and give it to somebody. Again, I talked about facing pages as well last class. The facing pages is if you want 2 pages that are next to each other, like in a magazine, right? Or do you want 1 page on top of each other that is, you know, just a plain document? And of course, columns. I only have 1 column, which is 1 big column, but if you wanted a 2-column layout, you could give multiple columns. And then they have margin options. By default, it's a 1/2 inch margin all the way around. You could also do a 1/4 inch margin. Usually I would do 1/4 inch margin if I was going to print out, because a 1/4 inch is like the edge of the paper, and so on. And so if you hit create, it'll give you your document. Again, this is InDesign. And so if I was going to use InDesign to make my proposal, again, I would make a master file. So the master file is the things that you would have on every screen. So let's say that I wanted to have my logo at the top and a page number at the bottom and a copyright symbol at the bottom down here, just like I did last class. I could simply go to the master. The master can be found in the pages window, and in the pages window is where you have most of your stuff. You know, each page is represented by a page here, as well as you have a none, and then you have the master here, right here. And so if I want to make a proposal, I could change the master by double-clicking on the master. When I double-click on the master, it goes to the master file. Again, what you would include in the master is something that you include on every page. So let's say at the top of my page I want to have a gradient, you know, just to give my proposal some nice gradient. I could draw a rectangle at the top. I can then put in, oh, we were struggling with gradient last time, weren't we? I couldn't figure out how to get the gradient to work, did I? I don't know why my gradient wouldn't work. I can give it a solid color. There we go. I don't know, I was struggling with gradient. So let's put a solid color at the top. We'll make it nice and bright. There we go. Can you see that? Oh, maybe a little darker. So, a little purple. There we go. And so let's say at the top of each of my pages I wanted that with no stroke on it. I'm going to turn the stroke off. Oh, no, I don't want that. I wanted, no, not that. I wanted my color here. There we go. Then maybe I have myself a logo. For some reason, I need to put some text on there. Raskoff Media. And we talked about font and things like that last class. Maybe I give it a color. There we go. And if I was going to scale this, remember there is a scale tool right here to scale something. Don't think you can scale with the selection tool. I know we talked about that last class as well. So let's say I have my logo at the top of my document. And then at the bottom, I want to have, we can duplicate this. Maybe I'll have this blue at the bottom as well in my footer. And at the bottom of my proposal, I want to have my copyright. You should put copyright on your documents so that people don't steal them and use your idea. Remember, Apple, though, doesn't sign a non-disclosure agreement. They're evil. But to do the copyright symbol, I can draw a box for my text. Most of the pre-made special symbols are located inside of InDesign. To put in the copyright symbol here, I'm going to go underneath type. And I do have special characters. And I'm going to go to symbols. And I'm going to go to copyright symbol. They also have registered trademark and so on, trademark and so on. So I'm going to do copyright symbol, and then I'm going to put my name, and I'm going to put the year. And how much does it cost to send your documents to the government to copyright them? How much does copyright cost? $35. Thank you. So here we go. So I put my copyright symbol at the bottom, and then, oh, page number. I'm going to duplicate this, and I'm going to put page number on this side over here. So I'm basically making a template, and let's put that right aligned. Where's my alignment? You got to bring up the type tool, character tool, just like you would inside of there. We need a paragraph option, and we can say right align. And then to make this a page number that changes as you make new pages automatically, I would use the type option, special characters, and I would use, there is one for page number, current page number right there. If you use current page number, it puts a little A over there. And the reason why it puts an A there is because you're in the master. It's telling you, but when you make a new page, it'll put the number in there. If you remember from last class, I showed that as well. So again, you know, I kind of made a page layout in my master that has all my information. And if you remember from last class, I then go out of my master into my page 1 here. And in page 1 right now, oh, I'll come my master. I don't see it. Usually it has a little thumbnail here of all my artwork. Save. Let me save this. Again, in the pages option, you can make new pages, and as you make a new page, you'll notice it still has all the information that you have up here. So if you have a page and you don't want the master in there, let's say my number 1 page is my title page, you can deviate from the master by going to the page. And if you remember from last class, we did that by right-clicking on there, I think it was, and go to page attributes. Where was it? Page override. No, there was a way that we got rid of that. Do you remember that last class? It was there was a none option. Do you remember the none? Oh, it was under insert pages. That's where it was. So to make a title page, there we go. To make a title page, it was under insert pages, right there, insert pages, and then say master and say none, and it'll give you a blank page. And you can tell that to be at the very beginning, before page 1, none master, and hit OK, and gives you a blank one without any of the master. So let's say you're making a title for your proposal, right? Maybe I'm making a proposal for a food app. I could then go and maybe grab my graphic. Here's my graphic. Is it a PDF you have here? Let me take a screen grab of this. And so if I want, I can make a title. So maybe my logo, I can steal my logo from here. I'm going to copy this. Oh, it's in the master. I'm going to copy this, paste it, change the size of it. And so this is my logo, and then we're developing, what was it, Food 24, was it? And so that might be the name of my app. And maybe give it a name. I don't know, I'm just making up a name here. Oops. Let me change the size of that. There we go. I don't know, you could center line that, whatever. And then I can bring in that graphic to bring in things into this program. If you remember last class, I was showing you how to, you can either make a frame to bring your artwork in first, if you remember that, or you can just use the file place if you want. And I'm going to place my screen grab in there.
So what was the frame? Was that like artwork?
It's a way that you would put your data in, and so that you can get artwork to fit to the frame, I guess is what the purpose of the frame was. So again, you can make yourself a nice little title like this. It doesn't have the master in it, right? Then if I was going to make a page, I can go to a page that has my information in it, and then I can take my Food 24 logo, maybe put that in there. I'm going to use a little frame, and I'm going to insert my Food 24 into, again, this is a frame right here, this one, rectangle frame. Then I can place my artwork into that frame, and it'll conform to that frame. Again, if it's too big like that, you can then go, if you remember from last class, I was showing how you can scale it down to fit in there by going underneath the object and fitting and saying fill proportionally or fit content. One of these will fit frame, so you can fit the artwork to it like that. So so I might have this in the upper corner, and then I would write my overview. And so maybe you have an overview of your project. So you would write your overview, and maybe you call it overview as well. And then so let's put this up here against that, and then we could say overview. And let's change the size of that. That's pretty ugly overview. I probably should do it all caps. Maybe something like that. And then, so, you can then go and build your designs like that. So again, InDesign is a great application to build some kind of, you've all probably made PowerPoint before, right? Where you did a PowerPoint and you had a template, right? And you could do something very similar in Illustrator as well. But, InDesign is a great program. So, what would you include in your proposal? Of course, an overview of what this app is for. You might do your persona research as well. So if I was going to make, and I'm going to delete this page, usually instead of making a new page each time, I duplicate a page because I already have where my title is and some of the artwork on there already. So if I was going to make a second page for this proposal, I would use the existing page, right? This one's already designed somewhat. And I can right click on there and say duplicate, right here, duplicate, and it'll make a second page. And so here's my page 2. Maybe on page 2 I did my research. So, all caps. So maybe I did some research, S-C-A-R-C-H. So maybe I did some research, and I had several designs that I was working on. I wrote a little paragraph about that. And then again, if you want to do multiple artwork all the same size, I would use the frame option, where I could draw a frame and then duplicate that frame. And so, if you're doing something in this program and you're going to use graphics and you want all the graphics to be the same size, I would use a frame like this. Then, maybe in my research I actually had several designs in there. Let's do a Google. Let's go under food app. And so again, I could fit that in there. So again, you can do your evaluations here. What's a good food app? Food apps are becoming very popular. The BBC even has their own food app. Look at that. Oops, didn't want to do that. I'm going to paste into frame. And then again, fitting is the way that you can fit it in there. So again, in your boxes, you can, what a great program to build a proposal for. Of course, I would have all my research and everything done before I even opened InDesign, but I don't think you're going to find any program that's better at putting together this kind of proposal like this into a PDF. So again, I have a home page, I have a first page, second page, and so on. The nice thing about a template is things are locked. You'll notice the page number changes down here as I go from page to page to page. If I was going to go and make this into a PDF to send to somebody, again, to make a PDF in this program is very easy. I tend to use the preset, the one that's preset, which is this one, the Adobe PDF preset. I like the high quality one right here. That gives you probably the best quality for a PDF. And then you can give your idea or wherever you want to save it. And then save it. And I think last class we went over a lot of the PDF options, how you want to compress it, what version are you saving for. I know there's a whole bunch of versions. The Acrobat 5 is like the default. Why would I have so many different versions of Acrobat? Well, it might depend upon who you're sending it to, especially for printing. A lot of the printing places may require you to have a higher version, and that's sort of why. But if you're just making it for general public, maybe Acrobat 5 is fine. In the past, there used to be a lot of problems with going to a PDF for gradients and things like that, in that the gradient didn't turn out proper. But they've really improved the quality of a PDF. And so if you make your PDF, what did it say there? What's this? Try, publish online, lets you publish in this. Try it now. I have to do try it now. One problem is found with a background task. Export proposal. What's the background task? Oh, so what? It's telling me it doesn't like my profile of one of my images. Let me try again. Oh, it's already made it. So it still did it. It just was giving me an error message about color profile. And so again, where is my proposal? Here it is. So again, you have a nice proposal with thumbnails here. And so this is what I want you to kind of present the last day of class. Some kind of nice PDF that shows your designs and your ideas all together in one document. But make it look nice. That's the important. The reason why I'm showing you how to use InDesign and you know, try not to use Word. I mean, Word just doesn't look good and it doesn't make a PDF very nice, right? I mean, with something like this, it's gonna make your proposal look nice, and you'll really get better feedback. So the other point for today as well is, you know, make sure you try and get some user input into your final project. I used to, and I think I posted some sample projects on the Canvas, right? Which one?
We looked over a few last week, but I don't.
Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, that was last class. We looked at a final. I think I had some in here, right? Remember the Wikipedia design, that Caltrain's kiosk, and that Citizen J. Do you remember those? Again, you know, these were all quite good. I really like the Caltrain's kiosk one. I thought that was good. You know, I don't remember. Oh, and here's their personas. You were talking about persona. Again, with the persona, I'd like to see a picture, and then, you know, their background, who they are, and why they fit in your design proposal. No, these are made up people. And then I like needs. Why are they using this app, right? And then how they would use the app. That's what the scenario in your proposal, in your persona would be, is how they would use it. You know, they click here, did this, goes to the kiosk, selects it. And here's the peer review here. So for this student, she just had them design review the designs and come up with some feedback. So it's basically, I mean, the feedback wasn't great, but at least it was some kind of feedback. I don't know. It just says peer review. It has a name right here. Somebody who works at Riverbed Technologies. Technical staff. Probably a friend of hers, I guess. But, you know, having somebody review your designs and give you feedback is what I'd like to have you include in your proposal as well. That's why we talked about it in class today. I don't know. This was a good one. We looked at some nice ones last class. The Citizen J project was okay as well. I'm not sure if I like the explosions here in the beginning. You know, it was a little, you know. And then that typography here. Try and use type that's easy to read. This is a little bit, and then here's their interview questions right there. They have some questions. And then they have their flow and their persona. That was a nice one. And then we've seen this one before. We saw the printed version. I have a printed version of this. Did she have anybody review this? I don't think so. I don't remember. Oh yeah, here's a peer review. The trippy stick? Trippy stick? The CEO of the trippy stick. Imagine what that trippy stick is. I can imagine. What is a trippy stick? What the I gotta find out what the trippy stick is. This is intriguing. It's intriguing. What is a trippy stick? The trippy stick. Oh, it's a vape place and pens. It's a vapor. Yeah. Okay. The trippy stick. Where was I at? Oh, I was looking at. Yeah. So. I don't know. Half the people left already. What do you guys think?